Hi, it's Darno with Way Living Recipes. Today, I'm going to be cooking spelt bread in the Zojirushi Virtuoso Plus Breadmaker. And we'll see how it does making spelt bread. And let's get cooking right now. Okay, so before I start, I want to say that I'm going to be using the whole wheat recipe from Zojirushi's recipe book with just one small tweak, so I won't be providing a printed copy of this because it's in their recipe book and you have to get it there if you want it. But the one small tweak is the very first ingredient, which is the water. The whole wheat recipe would call for 370 milliliters of water. I'm going to be using 320, a little less, because when I used 370, I found that the bread came out raised a little too high, a little more than I wanted it to be, and I'm not even using vital wheat gluten in this recipe either. And still, so actually two small tweaks. So no vital wheat gluten like you would with whole wheat flour bread, because the spelt flour that I'm using I'll tell you about later, but it works really nice without it for this whole wheat recipe. But I'm going to put the water in. Make sure that your paddles are pointing in the same direction when you start. If they move around after you've got the bake pan inside of the bread maker here, that's okay, because the agitators are still going to be locked in place. Okay, the next ingredient is 2 tablespoons of raw honey. So you can use, I guess, regular store honey if you want, but there are some things missing from that are in raw honey that I like in mine, but that's something you can research if you choose. So 2 tablespoons of whatever style of honey you prefer. The next ingredient is 4 1/4 cups of spelt flour. This is from Azure Standard Unified Spelt Flour. Not a promotion, but just what I'm using. Nothing in this video is sponsored and nothing given to me. But basically, their spelt flour works really good with this whole wheat recipe without putting any vital wheat gluten in it, as I was saying. And I've tried their flour with the white flour recipe, and you're going to get a real slim loaf. It doesn't work well with the white flour recipe, but it does work well with the whole wheat flour recipe without any vital wheat gluten added, which I really like. Next ingredient is 3 tablespoons of a granulated sweetener, but I'm using organic monk fruit extract powder. So I'm just going to use 1 teaspoon of that because a little of it goes a very long way. So put that in. Next ingredient is 2 tablespoons of dry milk powder. So putting those in, and notice that everything I'm putting in after the flour I'm putting in on the side. So you want to keep the middle open, and I'm just going to use the other end of the spoon there just to make a little well. That's where the yeast will go. Next ingredient, 2 teaspoons of salt. Putting those in on the sides as well. Next ingredient is 2 tablespoons of butter. I've chopped it up into little pieces because the butter is supposed to be softened when it goes in. You don't want it to be like frozen. So this came out of the refrigerator, but chopping it up into small pieces, it'll be softened up very well enough once the rest period is over for things. And as far as the rest time and all that stuff, you'll have to get the recipe book to get those details, and they tell you all that in there, but butter's in there. The final ingredient is 2 teaspoons of yeast, and you can use either rapid rise yeast or bread machine yeast, your choice. So putting those in there like that. And with all of that done, closing up, going to course number 2 for wheat bread. Tells me the time it'll be finished. I hit start. I'm going to move it back because once the paddles start going, I don't even want to risk it rocking and going off the edge, even though it's never rocked that much, but still. But we'll just kind of let it do its thing. It's going to take over 3 hours, and I'll bring you back when it's done. Alright, it's all done. So, going to get it on out, put it on this little rack here to cool down. You'll be able to get a good look at it before cutting and slicing. Alright, that came out pretty nice. I like the, I mean, it's not, you know, it's not the real huge big loaf. But if it were bigger, then I can tell you it'd be, when I cut it, it would be flimsier. So I wanted to use less water so it'd be a little tighter and wouldn't be as flimsy on the cut. And I think we may have achieved that here. I got to give it time to cool down though, because it's going to be easier to cut once cooled down, although everybody likes some nice hot bread right out of the oven or cooker or whatever. It's going to cut much easier if you let it cool down. So I'm going to let it cool and then we'll do some cutting. Alright, so I let it cool down, although it's still a little warm, and I went ahead and sliced it up here in the bread slicer, so you're seeing it after I just finished the cut. Let me get the bread slicer open. Here we go. So I'm going to show you how some slices look. They look nice. They look nice. As I said, when I've used as much water as is recommended, which is a little more than I used in this one, the loaf is a little taller, but it's also a lot weaker here in the inside and the interior. It's almost got like holes in the interior, I mean like gaps, because it's too much water, and so it just kind of makes things just too brittle inside. So looks good, feels good. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll just take this slice here just to get a taste of an interior slice. But let's go ahead and do a taste test. So thank God for a slice of bread. Let's go ahead and taste. Okay, what I should always have on hand but don't when I'm taste testing bread is water. And so then I'm there chewing forever because I don't have water. But it turned out great. It's got a crisp exterior, so it's got a crunch when you bite through it. Inside, super soft and moist. So it turned out really well. The spelt bread turned out and tastes good. And so basically, able to use the wheat bread recipe for the Zojirushi, and just don't use any vital wheat gluten. Use a little less water as I demonstrated, and all turns out well. Basically using the same amount of water I would use with the white bread recipe, but using it in the whole wheat recipe without the vital wheat gluten. It turns out good, but as I said, don't try to spelt flour with a white bread recipe. It's going to be a real small loaf, and if you use as much water as is recommended in the whole wheat, then you get too big of a loaf that's too brittle. So just a matter of getting the combination just right for things to work out well. And there are also factors such as weather. I mean, right now it's kind of warm weather, so the results may be a little different than if it were cold winter time. Sometimes cold winter time you need a little more water than you do in spring or summertime. I've just noticed that with bread baking. And you know, it just seems like things get a little tighter in the winter and a little looser in the summer. I mean, I guess it's, you know, the bread is just like people, you know, bread wants to come out more in the warmer months and kind of stick more together in the colder ones. But anyway, I digress, so let me stop. But anyway, in the video description there are lots of ways to help the channel, such as my cookbook, merch, membership, donations. Amazon shop link is there where you can get things like the bread slicer. You can also get the Zojirushi and other types of things as well. Also, you can check out my blog, superwaveovenrecipes.com. That's superwaveovenrecipes.com. And with all that said, if you did like the video, please do give it a thumbs up. Share the video with a friend, leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification icon, and good eating.